Good afternoon and welcome back to the Keys to Macarthur. My name's Stuart Davies from McGrath in Camden, and today it's my absolute honour and privilege to welcome a gentleman who is synonymous with this township, Dave Funnel. Dave, welcome. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Stuart.
So, you have been described by many as an institution in this town, but take us back to the beginning. Born and bred here?
Born and bred here, yep. I'll be 81 shortly, and I've been here all my life, except for a couple of years I did a stint in New Guinea on a contract up there as an electrician.
So that was part of my next question. So, off to New Guinea, what brought you back to Camden?
The contract had finished. I had 3 months off, and I came back and I travelled around a bit Australia, and I was heading straight back up there, but I ended up going into Johnny Williams's joinery place one day just to get some parts, and he convinced me that I should stay here and start my own business. So that's where it all started from, and I thought, well, it's time probably to settle down a bit.
So Funnel's Electrical was born out of that.
1969, yep. And we went on from there, and it was very good because we just seemed to fall into the fact that a couple of the electricians were retiring, old, they'd given up. So I walked into virtually a vacuum, and we had to fill that vacuum. So it was good.
And you did that over how many years?
The business I had for 45 and a bit years, and then one of the guys who had been with me 23 years from apprenticeship, he ended up purchasing it, and it still continues today.
Will you still see the Funnel's Electrical vans running around all over the district?
Yep. I tried to convince people there was only one on the road, but one lady said to me I was a liar because she saw two on the roundabout. So, yeah.
So, interesting. So for those that don't know, Johnny Williams, you would know the Williams family who have still got the Mitre 10.
Still got the Mitre 10.
On the corner of Macquarie Grove Road.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, very quick story, it goes back a little bit further. I used to be a paper boy as well. And I've designed a box on the front, box on the back of the bike.
Yep.
And if I got a bag and put it in the middle, I could take all the papers in one trip. So Johnny Williams's dad was the bag man, and he made the old potato sacks and everything else. Yeah. And he made it for me. And the day I went down to pay him, so I thought it'd be 10 shillings, the work he'd put into it. He gave it to me. So that's the sort of community spirit we've got in Camden. Yep.
And still alive and kicking today.
Yep, exactly.
Fantastic. Yeah. So, local government. You first served in council, I think, in 1977?
77, 78 and 79, yeah.
And you were an independent alderman?
Oh, my word, yes. Yep, I've always been.
So that would have you in your early 20s?
No, almost late 20s.
Late 20s, okay.
Late 20s.
So where did the interest for local government come from?
Just because there was a few things I'd like to see happen to Camden, and this building we're actually sitting in is we're down in the Undercroft, and when this building was built, it was built in my term on council, and downstairs here was a dirt floor originally, and I look around, I'm absolutely amazed with the renovations that have gone on to bring it up to the standard it is now.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, brilliant.
And the Civic Centre's been synonymous with Camden for all those years. I mean, going back in the day, I used to work here behind the bar, and if I worked Saturday night into the early hours of Sunday morning at a function of some sort, I could earn more that night than I earned for my entire weekly wage.
Yeah.
So, first time on council, then you came back to council in 2004
yes.
up to 2012.
Yes.
And 3 terms as deputy mayor?
3 terms as deputy mayor, yep.
So what had changed about council from your original term to when you came back?
I think I stood on the platform that I wanted to turn it back around to how can we help you, council? And if you walk through that front door and you walked up the counter, it wasn't like how can we help you? You're paying our wages.
Yep.
And it really worked. It did go, and there was a complete turnaround in that time.
I think that's something that a lot of businesses, I'm not poking necessarily at council, but businesses in general need to understand that they're there to serve.
Well, to give you a quick cross-handle, I went up to Corindai with 4 electricians, and we wired a factory up there and ended up staying nearly six and a half years. The town clerk came down to where we were operating from, not exactly legal. We were at a house split up in a storeroom, beds, the whole bit, just so we could stay overnight and whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a case of, we're down here now, is there anything we can do to help you? And I thought, well, that was in the 80s. And I thought to myself, that's the way it should be with councils. We bought 2 trucks up there. We put through 2 apprentices and created employment. That's how councils, they can stifle incentive if they don't help people. People will give up these days very easily.
Yeah, totally agree. So your time on council in local government, reflecting back, what is the one thing you're probably most proud of?
Look, I don't think there's any just one thing. It was the case that everything seemed to go along smoothly. If there was a problem, it could be sorted. That's it. Don't make it hard for people. Just if there is a problem, let's work around it. Let's find a solution for it. And there was a lot that we did find solutions for, and people were just going, because you discourage people, they're not going to have a go.
No, of course not.
They're not going to have a go. So I just look at the young kids coming on. The more jobs we can create here locally, the better it is for them, so they don't have to travel.
Absolutely. I mean, for anyone who has to travel out of the district for work, the time and the cost is phenomenal.
It's hours you never ever get back, and the money nowadays with fuel the way it is, it's. I don't know how some people do it.
No, and tolls as well.
Oh, tolls.
Getting tolled
Yep.
on the way in, on the way out,
back.
whether you're M5, M7,
Yep.
M2, whatever it is.
I always had a theory, Stuart, that what we should do is, if we're building in Camden, let's create employment in Picton, so people go that way and not the other way. So that if we were building whatever it is here, let's inject into Picton industrial employment and that, so that if they've got to travel out of the Camden area, it's against the traffic. There's no problem.
It's 20 minutes.
20 minutes. That's it.
Yeah,
you can afford that.
Absolutely. And eminently sensible. Eminently sensible. Talking about building in Camden, obviously you'd be aware there's been a lot of talk recently about the old nurses' quarters up on Menangle Road. What's your read on that?
Myself personally?
Yeah.
Totally opposed to it. It should, yes, it could go to housing, but let's keep like with like.
Mm-hmm.
The people in Menangle Road don't need, and Camden doesn't need, to have something else injected into it. We always tried to work on if a subdivision was coming on and it met another subdivision, it was like, is that side of the fence to this side of the fence?
Yep.
And definitely not the way they're going up there.
Yeah, I believe the DA hasn't been lodged yet, so it'll be interesting to see when it is, what it's actually lodged for.
I'm a bit concerned too that, being a state government development, it won't matter what the Camden Council says. It's just going to be rubber stamped and go ahead anyhow.
Mm.
That is my biggest concern.
Hopefully not.
Yes.
Hopefully it gets the rigour that any other DA put forward by anyone else does. And if there's issues, they get sorted out before it's approved. So we've sort of touched on it there. Local government, as a general rule, gets a fair bit of criticism. Do you think most people misunderstand what councillors do in local government?
Councillors. Councillors, well, what I'd like to think is that, and I've had experiences right now, that you write to them and there's probably only one that will pass it on, you don't hear from the others, and one that will follow it through. I won't mention names here today, but there's 2 on there that are working.
Yep.
One more than any of them, but I've written letters to them, but now what I do is I send Any complaint, well, anything I've got, I send it to mail@camden.gov and send it straight to, and they send it straight to the place, because you never hear from the councillors these days.
Okay.
I mean, in the days when we were councillors, someone rang you up, you went and had a look at the thing, and I can still remember going to a Cobbity job, and the guy wanted to subdivide his place. I checked out what the local, what you could do in the area.
Yep.
I went back, a very good friend, and I said, mate, you'll never ever get it through. And it was a fact of life. You've just got to be able to go out on site and tell the people exactly what's happening, so they don't go along and think that if spending money on plans and everything else, knowing you can never do it.
That's right. And that process is, before you even get to DA,
that's right.
is incredibly expensive.
Yep. Yes. Oh, geez, yes.
So, to flesh that out a bit more, why do you think the councillors don't necessarily have that lateral thinking? Are they too busy? Has it become, the area's becoming bigger and bigger? We're getting more and more people in on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Do we need more councillors, or?
No, we don't need more councillors. We just need the ones that are there to know they have committed themselves for the 4 years, and the amount of stuff that comes in the time that I was on those 3 terms, you could handle it. And even right up till 2012, it was getting very, very busy.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the areas, I just thought that one of the things we did bring in while I was on council was the fact that if you want to do a development on that area, here's all the conditions. Don't change the goalposts when we come back. Don't bring the plans, everything in. Tick the boxes and submit it. And things seem to go through a lot quicker. And that's what people can't have a holding of a development knowing they're paying interest, everything else associated with it. They've got to be able to get stuck in and get it done. And, Stuart, at the same time, create a lot of employment.
Exactly. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, more employment locally,
jobs,
keeping people within in the district itself, rather than having to travel outside.
Yeah.
So, you were integral in establishing the Camden Town Farm.
Well, I was on the Town Farm Committee, the 355 Committee.
So, just for people that aren't familiar with how the Town Farm came about, it was a working dairy owned by Miss Luella Davies.
Yes, and leased.
And up until, am I right saying, up until her passing, it was still working as a dairy farm?
It was still working as a dairy farm, yeah.
And then upon her death, she bequeathed the town farm to the community.
A most generous woman. She gave them an asset, an unbelievable asset. Yes, it's in the floodplain, and that's probably one of the luckiest things we've got in this area is the fact that it floods. Otherwise, we'd have houses all over the place. She gave an area that, if it couldn't be farmed economically, the will said that it would be used for recreational purposes.
Okay.
And when you look at the town markets, weddings and things they have there, it's definitely well used.
And remiss of me, but I actually walked the walking
Walkway,
track only about a month ago for the first time. That's phenomenal. And for anyone that hasn't done it, I'd sincerely encourage you to do it, because it's amazing. And you get right down on the river and back around into the back of Bicentennial Park.
Yes, yeah.
So the markets that are there, held there every Saturday.
Yes.
You involved in those?
No, I used to be on the committee of the markets, but I haven't been on now for a few years, and I think now it's changed hands. Different people are running the markets, but I think the store holders have more involvement now in the day-to-day running of it.
Okay.
Which is, if that's the case, is very good.
Yeah, yeah. And the market garden, for want of a better term, next to it, how did that come about?
That came about, Steve, surname escapes me, he runs it, he's held it together, people have got their little plots, and I think it's very, very good.
So people have got their own plots, they come in and work their plot?
Work their plot, yep, and they pay it's a little fundraising thing, and then they put the money back in, as far as I know, to the area there, and it's grow their own veggies, Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. It's to have that sort of facility, and I'm speaking about the town farm in its entirety, right on the edge of town is phenomenal.
It's better than that. It's in the centre of Camden, and it's right there, and it's just in the ideal spot, and it can never be built on.
Because of the floodplain.
The floodplain, yeah. Well, 1964, the big flood, I was a fourth-year apprentice. Myself and the engineer from the County Council, we rowed a boat down Exeter Street to the showground from Mitchell Street. So it's incredible to think back.
I remember Dad telling me about the 64 flood, and what stuck out in my mind about that flood was it went across the top of the power poles in Kirkham Lane.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It was an incredible amount of water. Yep.
And you know, you're right about what you said earlier. The flood's actually a blessing for this town. Without it, Camden wouldn't be what it is today.
Oh, it'd be built out.
It would be, and you would see, it just would be housing from one side of Camden to the other, linking Narellan, and on it goes.
Yeah, but if you look back through history of the flood records, I've got a copy of them from the earliest kept in the 1880s. They had a flood bigger than the 64. Nepean House was almost finished, and it came up to the guttering on the second story. We had a flood line since 1886, but for some reason they still built below that. So Camden would be even less houses if they had looked at what had happened in 1886.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, again, for those not familiar, Nepean House sitting on the corner of Mitchell Street and Exeter.
Edward Street.
Edward Street, that's right.
Street,
yeah, up to the gutter.
So up to the gutter of Nepean House in, I'm pretty sure, 1886.
Well, I know, Mum's got it now. Mum and Dad had a photo, an aerial done. Not sure what flood it was, but it showed, like, the whole showground was covered while Charles' house, Laurel's house was underwater, the bowling club, everything.
Yep. But so you look at the flood in 1964, that was a bit of a phenomenon that had 12 inches of rain at Robinson, which then stopped raining.
Yep.
Water was coming down. They suddenly had 6 inches of rain on Razorback, and it all met in Camden. So how do you predict a flood height when you've got that?
Well, you can't. And
It's
you know,
just nature.
That's right. We dairied out on Macquarie Grove Road for many years.
I remember doing electrical work.
Yeah, and I know when we'd start to get a bit of rain, Dad used to ring Robertson Police Station.
Oh.
How much rain have you blokes had? Oh, we've had 13 inches of rain.
Yeah, and you knew.
We knew we were getting all that water
coming down.
Yep. So cattle to high ground, pump off the river, and as a kid, I'd wake up. It was like waking up to Sydney Harbour.
That's right. Yeah.
But all that water now's been, well, fortunately, sort of mitigated away, and I think goes down into the Shoalhaven now.
A lot of it does, but we still have got a lot to contend with too.
Yeah, and we've had quite a few floods of more recent times.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes down through the Glen Quarry cutting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, very interesting. So, tell me, you're now the president of the Men's Shed?
I'm the vice president at the moment, or was the president for 5 years.
Okay.
I stood down last year and was vice president, and we have an annual general in 2 weeks' time. So we'll just see what happens then.
So, tell me about the Men's Shed. So, there was one originally.
Yeah, it was down on the showground, and we had the 2016 flood, and that's when we should have really realised we couldn't stay there because we couldn't do anything. You can't do an installation of machinery and that. So then again, we had a reason that we were taken off that area. We went and saw Carrington Care. They organised an acre block of land on a 20-year lease for us, and we've built a shed up there. When we first got not kicked off, but we left the Bicentennial Park, we probably only had about, frankly, we didn't have enough members, which you need 15 to join the national group.
Right.
So about 8, 9, 10 of us. We just stuck together, and that's 3.5 years ago. We've now got over 109 members.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, 109 members. We've got a shed, and we'd encourage people to drop in and have a look, because we've got a conference room, we've got all these things. And for the guys, retired people, Stuart, they need it. They've got to get out of the house. They
Absolutely.
need to come, even if you just come and have a cup of coffee.
Yes.
And have a chat. That's what it's all about. I find people up there, I find the guys are actually talking about their health problems.
Yep.
We used to do that one time. We'd hide it. But now they're talking about it, and guys are, bonding up there.
Isn't that good? So where is the men's shed located if someone wanted to pop in?
Okay. On the way out to Carrington, you've got Ferguson Lane and
Yes.
the fire shed.
Yep.
Just go down there, and what's a dead giveaway? There's this big brown building with Camden Men's Shed written on it.
On Ferguson Lane.
On Ferguson Lane.
Got it.
And you can't miss it.
Fantastic.
It's 500 square metres of shed, and then we've got containers covered, all sprayed the same colour, gardens, it's all landscaped.
So apart from the, I guess, camaraderie that the men's shed provides, from a practical point of view, what does the men's shed do?
Right, well, Stuart, we've got some very good, I won't say tradesmen, they're craftsmen, and they have built cubby houses for Camden South School. We got paid for it. We have built stuff for Belgenny, again, on a contract basis. They put it out to tender, and we got the tender.
Yep.
We've got things in the pipeline. I think at the moment now we're going to revamp some stands and that for spectator areas. But the guys have got plenty to do: gardening, welding, woodworking, and even, like I said, just come and sit around and have a cup of coffee.
So how many days a week? What are the hours?
Wednesdays we have breakfast at the Fat Cat Cafe, and we probably get 40 to 50 guys turn up to that.
Yep.
We then go up, we have the shed open Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and other times. The quilters group use it on a Tuesday. They use the conference room and do their sewing and everything else. We have had the Macarthur Country Singers there use it on Wednesday night. Camden Historical Society have had meetings up there. The Camden Rotary have their first meeting of the year for the last 2 years up there. So it's becoming well used.
It sounds to me like it's really becoming a community space now.
It was always designed around the fact that, yes, it's a men's shed primarily, but over and above that, it is a community building.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it's proving to be.
It's proving to be. Yep.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
That's really, really good. So I'm going to delve into your service history, because you've been integral in so many associations in Camden. So Apex,
yeah. Well, with your dad.
where it all started.
Apex, I joined Apex when I came back from New Guinea.
Okay, and then that morphed into Rotary.
No, I've only ever helped Rotary out.
Okay.
If they needed something, I went and helped them. Whatever it was, not a problem. But yes.
But you, correct me if I'm wrong, and I may well be, you were awarded a Paul Harris Fellow through Rotary, which is the highest award any Rotarian or someone associated with
and
can
it was a big shock, and I didn't expect it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, that just goes to show, when I thought, because Dad went through Apex with you, obviously, and then he was involved in Rotary, and he actually also was awarded a Paul Harris Fellow. So hence I thought it was only for Rotarians, that just shows, the time and effort that you gave the Rotary Club.
Look at all the time and effort those guys put in.
Oh, absolutely.
We've got a community here that you can't believe. From day one when we went to build that shed, earth moving, hire, solicitors, everyone, you knock on the door, it was opened.
Yep.
And not one bill came.
Yeah, it just speaks volumes for the community in Camden.
Well, you liken it to the first Camden swimming pool that was built. There was a guy called Alf Bucket and Albert Baker. They ran functions and everything else till that was built. That was built by the community, and this project was exactly the same.
Yeah, fantastic. So Albert Baker, obviously a synonymous name with Camden and the arcade.
Yep. Alf Bucket was a carrier.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, fantastic. And Camden Show Society, you were awarded life membership of that. Were you on the committee?
No.
Yeah, you just gave of yourself and your time.
I think the firm's been doing it now for nearly 50 years, the electrical work. But where it started was that they used to put it was all temporary. And when I was asked, could we do it, I said, only if it's done, put in once, and it's permanent.
Yep.
And that's what we did.
And the basis of it is still
there
all those years ago.
Yeah, the boxes are still there. The poles are still there.
Oh, no, and Camden Show, huge event in town.
Big straw card Camden's got. And also, it to me, you'd hear about other shows, but Camden is the show before the Royal Easter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And one very fortunate that it's always the show before Sydney show.
Yep.
So we get some great exhibitors, competitors come through, bit of a warm up if you like, and then they head off into Sydney.
Yep.
And it's great that Camden, the show society has that motto, still a country show, because it really is. And I think last show, 42,000 people over the course of 2 days and 2 nights.
That's incredible.
And one of the struggles that show societies as general is having with committee, ageing committee, and no young ones coming through, and obviously having the town and the district maintain its interest. We're so fortunate here that as this area grows exponentially, we're inviting and we're showing new people that have never had anything to do with agriculture or produce or anything like that what it's all about, and it's right here on our back door.
Well, the other thing I'd like to say is I wish the Camden Show Society was running the economy of this country. When I look at your balance sheet, I think it's commendable.
Very much so. Yeah. Very much so. Yeah, very good point. So in 2012, Lifeline named you the Macarthur Philanthropist of the Year.
Oh, without going down the track, yes, that's correct.
So what's your philosophy around giving back? I mean, it's evident that you've done it all your life.
My thing is Camden's given me so much, and I intend to give a lot back. Yeah, you owe the community.
And I think I was actually talking to the mayor about this on my last podcast. Volunteering it's dying in this country, isn't it?
It's dying because the financial constraints on people don't allow you to volunteer. I mean, there was a time when in Apex we could give up a Saturday, we could give up a Sunday and do stuff for the community. But there's too much to do these days to at least hold down. And in those days, the shops shut at 12 o'clock on
12
Saturday.
12 o'clock on a Saturday, exactly.
And you had the weekend to yourself. Yeah.
No longer.
Time. Yep.
And back in of a time where the majority of wives stayed at home and raised the family.
That's correct. Yep.
But now both are working. Kids are in childcare, then off into school, and then you've got children's sport and everything else that goes on. So yeah, people's time certainly available time isn't
available
what it was.
Time's just non-existent.
Yeah. So Camden's growth and its future, we're touted as one of the fastest growing local government areas, not only in New South Wales, but Australia. As someone whose family goes back to the original European settlement of the cow pastures, how's this transformation make you feel?
I'm very disappointed. The transformation had to come, it will come, and it's just a natural. But where I feel we've failed, the infrastructure is just not there. The road system, the rail system, there's no transport reliable, buses, the rest of it. It's already able to dump people in an area, but for heaven's sake, you've got to then be able to transport them, and that's where they've failed. That's not good planning.
No, and I think that's planning as a general rule to say, they just dump people in there and the infrastructure, and I'm not just referring to Camden, there's many, many.
Look,
yeah,
Camden's not unique in that.
no, not at all. But there's, it's dump the people first, and then the infrastructure's an afterthought.
Have you ever been to Western Australia and seen those big double lanes each side of the railway line in the centre, big parking lots going south?
No.
They've put them in before they've put the people.
Yeah.
You know, someone over there has been forward planning. When it happens, it's covered.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, and for those that wouldn't remember or may not know, many years ago, and you'd be more familiar than I, Camden had its own rail station, a rail line that fed over to Campbelltown.
It did. It was. I actually travelled it when I was an apprentice. It was unreliable. It was dirty. It was everything. It was quicker to hitchhike to Camden, from Camden to Campbelltown than of an afternoon stand on the railway bridge down the bottom and look at people pleading for a lift, and you'd get them. Those days they'd pull up and bring you back. It was good years.
Pansy, I think.
Pansy was the name of it.
There you go.
Yep.
And interesting that we had a rail line all those years ago. We lost it. You would have thought that if anything, you'd be gaining something like that, but
no,
it's gone the other way.
Yes.
So, what do you think Camden risks losing as it grows, and what do we need to protect?
Well, there was a time you could go down the main street of Camden and it'd take you an hour.
Yep.
Now you don't know anybody. You just walk down the main street. That's it. It's lost a lot of its community spirit. It's lost a lot of its we know each other, talk, the whole bit. The people, terrible morbid thing to say, but a die and are buried before you even find out about it nowadays.
Mm.
We don't have a newspaper as such. The best thing we've got is the reporter, that at least you can catch up 2 weeks after the event.
Yes.
And then become wise.
Yeah, exactly. But I think there's some good social media pages too around.
If it wasn't for Facebook, which I thought was a waste of time in the beginning, you wouldn't know half what's going on.
No, exactly.
You wouldn't know half what's going on.
Exactly. There's that page, you're from Camden.
I love it. Yep.
So, thinking about the next generation of community leaders, is there one piece of advice you could give them?
Yes, exactly. Without thinking, don't put your name up to stand for something you can't give your full attention to. Don't stand there and say, I've got councillor in front of my name. There's something that goes with it. You've got to be able to get out there, go and have a look at the problem, make a decision, come back, because you're there to represent the community. Put politics completely out of it. And I've never stood on a political platform on council. It's always be to look after the interests of the people in the area. No matter what political persuasion they might be, they are the ratepayers. They're the ones that elected you.
And you had some fantastic councillors and aldermen around you in the day. I mean, Graham Bush, Bruce Ferguson.
Yes. Bruce, who was instrumental in getting the equestrian park, who knew the right people on the water board to get it signed over to us and created it. I still remember him dedicating. Liz Kernahan stood down that day for him to give the speech, and it was dedicating it to the people of Camden for recreational purposes.
And Liz Kernahan, another synonymous name with this town.
Lover or hater, whether you're either side of politics, she went into bat for you.
Oh, she was a doer.
Oh, she was a doer. Yeah, dead right.
And we've now got the Liz Kernahan Parkway.
Liz Kernahan building at the
university. Yeah.
And
she would have been, when you were deputy mayor, was she the mayor?
She had a mayor of one term in the early stages. When she came back on council, she only went on as a councillor.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
As an alderman, she aspired to be mayor. Bruce Ferguson was mayor twice, and she was mayor once.
And
Bushy, sorry, the
Yes.
three of them. Yep.
And we talked about the men's shed being located on Ferguson Lane. Well, that was named after Bruce Ferguson.
Well, his family.
His family.
They had a nursery down there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All these little tie-ins and snippets and throwbacks.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise to me, having listened to what you've given of yourself to the community over many years, and I suppose nothing speaks more volume about how proud you are of Camden as having, I think, Camden number plates on on your wife's car.
Yeah.
But getting back to it, what you've done for the community, your service over many years was, I think, incredibly well rewarded on the King's birthday long weekend on his honours sheet, and we're now talking to David Funnel OAM. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. But I think I'm on record also as saying that, yes, my name might be on that award, but you should see the number of people that back me to get that award. It's all very well to come up with ideas. It's all very well to say that we're going to do something. You just don't do it by yourself. And there's a lot of people out there that can proudly say their name is there as well.
Yeah, that's very generous of you, because, as they say, it takes a village.
Oh,
and everyone has to pitch in.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
But no, I think incredibly well deserved.
Thanks.
For services to the community.
Yeah, local government and services.
Local government and services to the community.
Yep.
Yeah, no, very, very well deserved. Thank you so much for giving us of your time today, and look forward to seeing you up at the men's shed shortly.
You're always welcome, and so too is everybody. Just to come and walk through and have a look at what we've got. I think you'll be truly amazed.
And I think it'll be interesting to see who's actually up there. Might be surprised to run into people that that you don't even realise attend the men's shed.
That's right. Well, now, like I said, we're over the 100 and I think it was 109 last Wednesday, and now fully paid up members.
Yeah.
And coming from, we almost gave up 3.5 years ago. I think it's something in itself for the boys,
It is, and again, it goes back to what we've been talking about, the theme of community.
Oh yeah, it's something, and it doesn't take much to give up an hour or 2 hours, or become involved in something. Yeah, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and it's our story. The more you put in, the more you get back.
100%. Yes.
Great.
Yep.
Thanks again for your time, Dave.
Appreciate it.
Much
mate.
appreciated. Thank
See
you.
you soon.